Nevada Virtual Academy. Let's do one more problem. Problem number 23. Proficiency exam problem. Specific proficiency. Let's see if we know how to solve it. Simple problem, Algebra 1. 8th, 9th grade. Some of you did it in the 7th grade. I know some of my students did it in the 7th grade. Let's see. Um, Equation x squared plus 2x minus 24 equals 0. What is the solution set of the equation? And obviously you have the four options. One way, if you have no clue how to solve this one, but you know how to perform a substitution, you will take each one of these values and plug them into your equation. But that's the long way. The other way is to take your quadratic equation and try to solve it. Okay? Many ways to solve this one. First of all, you may think about if there's any factor, any common factor. None. There's none. Is that a perfect square? No, it's not a perfect square. Is this a difference of squares? No, it's not. Can we break it down? Can we factor it? Okay, because that would be much easier for me to have it solved. Well, let's see if this will be factorable, right? If it's not prime, the first one in each one of your binomials is going to be x. I'm looking at my last term here, which is the product of my last two terms from each one of my binomials. Because that's negative, it means I will have a positive and the negative sign inside. I will have a plus and the minus in my two factors. I'm checking the middle one. The middle one is positive and is positive 2. What am I looking for? I'm looking for factors of 24, one positive, one negative. That will add up to 2. And I can see it right away. 6 and negative 4. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24. We are good. But 6 plus negative 4 is also 2, which gives me the middle term, which means I'm done. This will be x plus 6, x minus 4. And this is your equation. If that equals 0, then each one of this parentheses, right, this binomial should be equal to 0. That should be 0. This one should be 0. You will have your two equations. X plus 6 equals 0, which gives you your first root, x equals negative 6. The other one, x minus 4 equals 0, which gives you the second root, x equals 4. You got your two roots. If you want, you can write them like negative 6 and 4. And now we should check on your options, among your options, which one is the answer. And ladies and gentlemen, that's my B. To be or not to be. My teacher always told me to pick C. Well, it's a B in this case. Your teacher was wrong. Never pick C just because you don't know how to answer. Always try to guess if there is no other way to solve it. But when you try to guess, before you guess and you just say, hey, this is it, check and see if you can eliminate any one of these answers, any one of them. May not be the case in this one, but if you don't know how to solve it, if you don't know how to factor it, there is one other way left. You guys remember, you should use the quadratic formula. Okay, let's check with the quadratic formula. Let's try with the quadratic formula now, because you have to remember that one too. For the quadratic formula, first thing you have to identify, because the general form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Identify your a, b, and c for this problem. What is your a? Well, a equals 1, right? There is 1x squared. What is your b? Well, b equals 2 for this problem. What is your c? My c is negative 24. Next step, find your discriminant, your delta, which is b squared minus 4ac. If this is less than 0, you have no solutions. But in this case, it will be greater than 0, and you plug in the values. B squared will be 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4 times a, right, times 1 times negative 24. And this one equals what? Well, you have 4. Minus and minus in here will become plus. Negative times negative is positive. 4 times 24 is going to be 96, right? 96 plus 4 is 100, and this takes you to the final step, finding your roots, which are given by the quadratic formula, negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, but that's your delta, right? Over 2a, plug in the values, negative b minus 2 plus minus square root of 100 over 2 times a over 2. You have to move on from here, negative 2 plus minus, what is square root of 100? That's 10 over 2, and you have your two roots. First one, negative 2 minus 10 over 2, which is negative 12 over 2, which is negative 6, or you have negative 2 plus 10 over 2, which is 8 over 2, and that equals 4, okay? And this is how you got your two roots using the quadratic formula. If you cannot, by any means, any reasons, factor your trinomial, well, go the other way, the quadratic formula. You should definitely get the same answer, right? B, because otherwise there is a mistake, or we're not doing it right, which is also a mistake. All right, thank you guys.